Hello, and welcome to another episode of Exploring the Backlog, my series where I dig through my Steam backlog and try to unearth, hopefully, some gems, if not, worst case scenario, weed out some chaff. Mixed metaphors there, but you get what I mean. You get what I mean. I hope you're well, and hope this day is treating you well. I must confess that today's game, which is, as you can see there, The Ghost of Joe Papp, full title 101 Ways to Kill Writer's Block, is not something I would necessarily probably have picked to own. So why do you own it, you ask? Great question. Glad you asked. I own this because I was sent it through Keymailer. I was sent the offer of what was I sent the offer? No, I wasn't even sent the offer. I think they just literally sent me the key. They didn't even give me the chance to say yeah, no, nah. So yeah, I received this key last year, late last year. It came out in December 2020, which makes you wonder what's it been doing for the past 2 years and a bit. I don't know. I'm waffling, but yeah, it's because it confused me. It still confuses me to this day. I don't think I requested it through Keymailer. I don't think I saw it on there and thought, oh, I'll put in a request for that. Even though, as you will see, it is kind of very much, it should be my jam. It's interactive fiction, choose your own adventure kind of storytelling. It's got the word writer's block in the title, which, you know, is to do with writing and authors and, you know, stuff that I'm interested in. But I don't know, there's just something about it that just isn't grabbing me from looking at the trailers and stuff. I accepted the key, and I wasn't 100% obliged to create any content on it, but I feel bad that I own it and I haven't done anything. I definitely do not think it's one that I would stream. I don't think enough people would be interested. I think people would literally be just there to tolerate the fact that they're watching it, to just basically hang out for a bit. So I thought, why not do a video on it instead? So here we are. It is made by Stegalosaurus Game Development. I swear to God, right, I didn't even put the full title of the game on this screen, and it's still nearly filled up the screen with text, the amount of words I have to fit on. Long game title, long developer name. There are no reviews on Steam, which it came out on the 6th of December 2020. I mean, obviously I know, you know, the world was going through some stuff in 2020 and still into 2021 and, you know, admittedly quite a long way into 2022 as well. But you would think that maybe somebody would have got around to writing a review at this point, which that in itself, it's I don't know, it just sets off little warning bells for me, and I don't know why. It could be doing it a huge disservice. It could be that we start playing it, and it's actually a really neat story, and although the art is not my favourite in the world that I've ever seen, it might be, you know, we need to look beyond the cover and the graphics and stuff, because, you know, graphics aren't everything. Look at Minecraft. And it might actually be a gem. But I don't know, there's just something here just going, no, I don't know. And I don't mean Cactuar, although he did have words to say about it before I started. I said, hush, Cactuar, we're going to do it. Just let me get on with my job. So yeah, very waffly intro, but I genuinely don't really know what else to say. With all that said then, I guess we'll just start. We'll see how we get on. And then I've honoured my obligations to create a piece of content for it. And if I don't like it, then I don't like it. This is the way things go sometimes. So yeah, The Ghost of Joe Papp. Who is Joe Papp? I don't know. Hopefully we'll find out though. Alrighty then, shall we get started, I suppose? Here we are, The Ghost of Joe Papp, as I say, 101 Ways to Kill Writer's Block. Some very wibbly wobbly text there. There are, 3 different typefaces going on here, which does bother me a bit. When you smash too many different typefaces / fonts together, it just screams at me. I'm not a graphic designer. I'm certainly no professional graphic designer or anything, but I am aware of the fact that there is kind of a rule of maybe 2 fonts is pretty much, you know, enough on any one piece of visual whatever. But you know, here we are. I really don't want to just sit here critiquing, because that's not a good frame of mind to begin with. I want to come in, you know, I should really have wanted to come in with an open mind. The fact there are no reviews at all, not even bad ones, does make me wonder. I cannot help but wonder why. And why they took over 2 years, or 2 years to send it out through Keymail to people. I honestly don't know. Unless perhaps it got released in 2020, and then sort of pulled back, and it's been re-released in 2022. I honestly don't know. We may never know. Possibly it doesn't make any difference either way. We'll just hit start and see what happens. I really hope it's voice acted, because I have realised now that I don't have a drink in this room. I really don't want to have to stop filming just to go and get a drink and come back and start again. So we'll press start and cross our fingers that it's fully voice acted. It's not fully voice acted. That's sad times. But yeah. So visual novel, interactive fiction, whatever you want to call it. It's something to do with the Shakespeare Festival. That's pretty much all I know. The setting screen had Shakespeare quotes on, which is nice, and again, absolutely should be like screaming to me like, wow, this is so a game for you. This is like so your thing. We'll see. I mean, is her name Shakespeare? Surely not. Venice, a street. Enter Antonio, Salario, and Salanio. In sooth, I do not know why I am so sad. It wearies me, you say. It wearies you. But how I call... I am not good at reading out Shakespeare. The cadence of it is hard. But how I caught it, found it, or came by it, what stuff 'tis made of, wherefore it is born, I am to learn. The Merchant of Venice. By Wyler Shakespeare. Of course, I don't really want to be hanged, so brain, it is time once more to think. Male names, Brain. We need male names. Wyler Shakespeare. Wilhelmina Shakespeare? Not male. Your Majesty, I present to you Mr. W. Shakespeare. Mr. W. Shakespeare. W.S. Mr. W.S. William. Is she having a breakdown? I mean, she looks angry, so yes, I guess. William Shakespeare. Will. Alas, poor Shakespeare, I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. Yes, a woman writer talking to the head of a cadaver, that will play her very well. Think she's perhaps trying to write a play about Shakespeare? The Merchant of Venice. Oh, how I do not wish to be 30, it means so little, and yet it vexes my mind, Horatio. Wow, I remember the days of 30. Yeah, okay. So we keep the intro. The intro never hurt anybody. It's a good intro to a play. I'm talking out loud to no one but myself. Isn't that just YouTube? Just talking out loud to myself. Heavenly Father, are you there? It's me, Wyler. I don't think this font can display punctuation properly. Look, it's not displayed the apostrophe. This drivel had best sell, Lord. So, a bit of exposition is needed. I'm a writer. Yes, it is needed. Well, I guess now you are too. In college, I wrote a play called The Ghost of Joe Papp, and I really liked it. I thought it was the best thing ever. Then I reread it nearly 16 years later. Some of the stuff in it. Look, the play was about dual productions of Merchant of Venice and Hamlet. Some of the stuff you could tell was blatantly wrong, just with a passing knowledge of Shakespeare. But hey, at least I didn't write a season finale cliffhanger with someone getting shot and then a dream sequence season premiere all about who got shot, only to reveal they didn't actually get shot. Shout out to Dallas, I think, which is a very, very far-reaching throwback of a shout out. Bad writer, imposter. Imposter syndrome. Got it. Oh, yes, I'm talking about The Good Fight, not Dallas. But yeah, if you know, you know. If you... I mean, I wonder whether this is why there are no reviews. Perhaps people do uninstall the game by this point. If you're still here and have not uninstalled the game by now, you're pretty much in it to win it. Okay, so we've got easy mode or 2020 mode, which is that like a joke about how hard 2020 was? I mean, it's funny, but it's also kind of tasteless, I think. You know. Unless it's going to tell me that no matter what I pick, it doesn't make any difference. I'm going to pick easy mode because that's my my modus operandi is easy mode, story mode, casual mode, whatever you want to call it. No sweat mode. This is easy mode. You will have a visible tally of all your choices. Is this the game mode that you want? Yes. I may do another start at some point and just see what 2020 mode actually is. Just see what she says about it. I know writers that use subtext and they're all cowards. Garth Marenghi. Wow. I know Garth Marenghi as a name, but have not consumed any of his work. Pretty sure that was TV work mostly, wasn't it? Or is he a writer as well? We begin in sunny Joe Papp. Okay, Joe Papp is not a person, it's a town. Who knew? A small theatre town on the shores of Lake Tahoe. It is a majestic freshwater lake which separates California from Nevada. Joe Papp resides just off the Nevada side, close to the skiing hub of Incline Village. In sooth, I do not know why I am so sad. It wearies me. You say it wearies you, but how I caught it, found it, or came by it, what stuff 'tis made of, wherefore it is born, I am to learn. And such a want-wit sadness makes of me. Balls, balls, balls. Okay. That I have much ado to know myself. What the hell? All is one dead asshole. Come on, Azzy, you're going to wake up the whole block. Then Lake Tahoe shall know of us. We come for them. To be or not to be? This poor guy's trying to rehearse, isn't he? That is... Paul Giamatti was Ezra Chater? By all means, sure, join me. I wasn't doing anything important, just memorising lines for only the hardest plays in recorded history. Paul Giamatti was Ezra Chater in the first American version of Arcadia. Paul Giamatti, who I have no... I assume that's a real person. I don't know. Is a weird choice for a British show. I just said the American version. I was being funny. Were you? Great banter! Scene 1 is already picking up speed. So I cannot work out, and I'm sure it'll become more obvious, whether this is a kind of very meta look of the girl from the first scene is directing this as a play, or as a game of a play? Or what? Damn it, now I ruined the flow. Do you have a copy? Also, do I really need Scott to be doing the monologue? I mean, I think the audience will get it. How did you know that I was out here? You're hiding from Molly. Does she know I'm here? No. Yeah. Do you have a copy? You must have a copy. Molly will know you're here when they announce it on the Jumbotron. Is that what it is? I've been hearing... Hello, Lake Tahoe! Yes, that's... Max bought it. Max bought it with what money? The board allowed him to buy that monstrosity? The board wants to one-up the official Tahoe Shakespeare Festival wherever it can. You mean Max Snow does. Molly must be pissed. It also explains the reverberating cursing of Paul McCartney's name. Who's the second voice? Azzy McBrody. Now I'm pissed. I thought we were not going to hire him. He's directing Hamlet and Merchant of Venice for this season. Kitri and I went through the records on the plane from Ireland. You voted for him. Because I thought we wouldn't actually hire him. And why did you vote for him? See, this is how things like Donald Trump happen, yeah. Because, like, everyone thinks, well, no one else will vote for this, surely. But I feel like I should. See, also, insert Brexit. I was trying to play Max. If Max saw me vote for Azzy, Max wouldn't freak out and be a monster for the rest of the season. Voting for Azzy was the less of two evils. Or the lesser of two weevils if you're on, oh god, what was that film? The Russell Crowe film about ships. It's not Hornblower, is it? It's something else. But he makes the, between the lesser of two weevils joke about biscuits on the ship, and it's still to this day, makes me giggle inside. So you don't have a copy of the 1995 Arcadia? I'm sure it's somewhere. Paul Giamatti was Ezra Chater! I know, right? I kinda don't care. I don't get why they care, either. Very excited to meet Molly. I saw you two perform the Seagull at Ashland. Actually hired him, huh? Azzy McBrody as guest artistic director for one season, with an option for 2 more. I know, I was in the room when it happened. Molly will be pissed. Not as pissed as she'll be when she sees you. You're a Shamorgan. Shaw Morgan? Shaw Morgan? Okay. You own this town. You couldn't do anything about this? Shaw Morgan. That's a silly name. Come on, you know that those mountains behind us eat up a majority of our revenue in winter. Everyone wants to ski. Nobody wants to see a play, especially outside. Diamond Peak is our biggest competitor. We put up tents, we have heaters, especially outside. Diamond Peak is our biggest competitor this time of season. What? I think this is a typo. I think it's meant to say besides, but it says besidues. We've only been here for 3 months. I have also completely, I think, lost track of which of these characters is named which. I think he was Scott in the red shirt. He was there at the beginning. I think that was Scott. And Sean turned up separately. So it's Scott Shaw Morgan, not Sean Shaw Morgan, which is slightly less of a daft name. Yeah, but I expected the Shaw Morgan Entertainment Group of Ireland and now America, apparently, to have the clout to, you know, do things. What do you want us to do? Move a mountain? I mean, it couldn't hurt, but you know I'm talking about Molly. We need her. Don't tell me you don't want her. Sean, oh brother of mine. Speaking of dynasties, there you are. Our pipes are freezing. Does everyone know where I am? Molly doesn't. Good. We have freezing water, and we've had freezing water for a week. So you've got ice, essentially, is what you're saying. Lake Tahoe is kind of big and cold. So, like, how much longer am I supposed to put up with this? You wanted to come to Tahoe. I'm assuming you pronounce this Tahoe. I feel like, you know, when American streamers or YouTubers pronounce British place names completely wrong, and you're just like, ugh. I could be doing them a return favour at this point. I don't know. I can't see how else you could pronounce Tahoe. Tao? I'll stick with Tahoe, just in case. Dad and Mum wanted me to come to the festival. Freezing water is one of Tahoe's charms. I expected the ipso facto leaders of the festival to be treated a bit better. Well, who died and made you king? How is our hamlet today, Scott? I feel like it would have benefited from different colour names for different speakers. Because I'm like, I mean, obviously her name is very different to their two names, but I was not really paying attention to which word was in this screen down here when they were just talking between the two of them. And that's sort of why I lost track of who was like saying what. How is Hamlet today? I like Antonio better. I like playing villains. Antonio is the main character. He's not the villain. Have you read the play? Shylock was going to cut off a pound of his flesh. Yeah, I wasn't saying Shylock's not fucked up. Shylock's fucked up. I'm going to go for a walk. Is Molly around? No, she's at her festival-appointed therapist for the next hour. I'm going for a walk. So that was definitely Scott. I need the Arcadia! I need hot water! Starter. Oh, you can't tell me that Starter's a name. So this face is on the cover art, which makes me feel like this face is the main character, but it's this one that we were introduced to first, so... Don't know. I had a dream last night that I was John Lennon. It was weird. I didn't know any of the words to any of the songs. You know if he hated Elvis, or Elvis hated him, I forget. Ultimately, Lennon broke up the Beatles. You did not break up this festival. Oh, look at William Shakespeare, local theatre god, being all psychoanalytical. If I am to deduce your takeaway of this dream correctly, then I assume you feel like the Shaw Morgans taking this festival from your family equals you dividing the cast in two. You are not to blame for others. Maybe blame keeps me from the realisation that I could go back to the loony bin at any moment. You keep saying I'm not bipolar, that I'm not X or Y, but I can't keep calling myself a prophet forever. I can't be your weird sister. So this is Starter. You can tell because her face has changed expression. I do feel perhaps it would have, like... I'm trying to remember. Obviously, like, Arcade Spirits is, like, my sort of pinnacle of visual novel experience. It was the first one I properly fell in love with and stuff, so I kind of compare stuff to how they do stuff in that. They have different coloured text boxes for different characters and stuff, which helps you associate them with themselves. I can't remember, but I don't think they move or sort of, like, just jiggle a little bit to indicate that it's them talking now. Like they'll go like this or something. I don't think they do that unless it's kind of like a dramatic moment or something. But I feel like here it would have really benefited from that. Again, just ways of telling who's talking. And obviously there's so much backstory and context here that we don't have, that I do not know why. I feel like that's meant to be enticing me to want to find out, like, go back to the loony bin. So you've been in an institution of some kind? So you can't keep calling yourself a prophet forever? What does that mean? Why is your name Starter? That's not a name. And such, like, even if it's a surname, it's not obviously a surname, is it? It's a word, it's a noun kind of thing. Holy hell, friend, you get morose on marijuana. Okay, so she's on drugs. Okay, fine. That's pot. That's Scott talking, who isn't even on the screen. See, I knew there was another name for it. Here he is. Okay, so obviously, like, different perspectives. Like, I'm in the UK, I'm British. Here, marijuana and all drugs are illegal, basically. Obviously, I'm very aware that in different parts of America, they're legal, so it's fine, and it would be completely normal for them to be talking about it, to be taking it, whatever. That's fine. I cannot relate to that perspective, because it's illegal here. That's just the be-all and end-all, really. So I don't know where this is going to go, whether this is going to be relevant at any point. I guess we'll see what they've got to say about it. Maybe it will or won't be. What are you two doing out here? Great question. Getting some peace and quiet. I'll be Edward. I was going to say peace. That's Pop. He's onto us. Starter, you can't... So this is her first name. Baffled. You can't do this. We open in no time at all. Put out the pot before Azzy or Max see you. A board member. Hell, a damn park ranger. We don't need trouble with the law, especially if every single park ranger knows your history. So it is illegal here. I should really have written Titus Andronicus on Reefer. That play was just weird, my fellows. I feel like they're just going to make references and sort of jokes and stuff that I just don't get, because that's just not part of my world. Scotty, call me Detective Murdoch, for I will solve this mystery. If that's a reference to TV's Murdoch Mysteries, though, I do like Murdoch Mysteries. That's actually really good. It's a really good show. And I think probably based on books, but yeah, really good. They already solved it. Fuck. God, how do I even write this? Do I even want to? I mean, like, for all that I'm slamming it so far, that is a really good choice to be paid. That's almost as good as, like, you know, pay F to pay respect kind of thing. Give a shit. Don't give a shit. I mean, I'm trying to remember that we're not actually any of these three characters. We're somebody removed from this. So it's whether I, as somebody removed from these three, give a shit or don't. I'm going to err on the side of... Yeah, I always worry about stuff, so I'm going to... So, yeah, we were going to have this whole section where the real actors were filmed reading the script. But then, not to date this game or anything, the entire nation got locked down due to this ridiculously shitty virus, so that didn't happen. So, yeah. So coronavirus was a thing if you're watching this in 10 years' time, which I very much doubt you are. Yeah, hey, 2020 to this point kind of was, yeah, it was a weird time. There were a lot of lockdowns and stuff, and it has completely dated this game. And I still don't know if we were, is that we were, as in me and my production team, or is it we, the game devs, talking to us? I still don't know. I feel like it's almost trying to be too clever for its own good. I already used the backgrounds that I paid for specifically for this project on Furry Shakespeare and Emperor Penguin Lear. I can't reuse them, can I? What if people call me a lazy dev or a putz? Again, is this a real game? I don't think so. But he did mention, it did say dev, not writer. Or not a real game developer or writer. Fuck. Yeah, it's like we've got sort of what's it, like a developer's commentary running over the top of the actual game, but it is the game. I feel like I could kind of see why people. I mean, people don't usually hold back on Steam. If they don't like something, a lot of people will generally just say so. It blows my mind that nobody has sort of just gone on there and gone, WTF? Even just that. Kit, I'm using the background anyway. That's Pop. He's onto us. You can't do this. Da-da-da-da-da. That's what they said before. Yep. Yeah, that's what you said before. That's what you said before. I already solved it. Pot helps the visions die. See. Oh, yeah, it's like... So I don't know how well they know each other. I don't know if I'm meant to be... Like... I think we're directing it as if it was a play. I'm going to tell. So this is what Scott would do. Okay, so I think Scott would. Here's how dialogue works. This is the status page. You can access it from the main menu or access it. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So you can keep track of what action scene you're currently on, as well as the many variables of the script. Each option has the potential to increase one or more variables. Some can even decrease others. This may not be true by the time the game ships. As well as open up other paths in the script. Some changes may be small, some may be large, some may affect other character variables. Some choices may not be doing anything at all. Creation is like that. It's messy and based on structural compromise. You know what? I think some of these flags might actually be from an older build of the game. They might be changed as of now. Oh, weird. Okay, still gonna do that. You promised not to do this. You're gonna tattle on me? Scott became more of an asshole. Or a responsible citizen. Who can say? You know, one person's tattler, asshole, is another person's responsible citizen, so... Is that Starter right here? Well, the boys are back in town. Is that Pot? Starter was smoking out with the local theatre god. Knock. Can you seriously stop for 1 second to think about your pot-only word? Think about your... something. Pot only worsens your mental illness, and people can't see you smoking out with Shakespeare. We already went over this. She's a prophet, not crazy. I just don't get it. I just don't get what the dynamic is here. I'm just gonna have a quick drink. It doesn't... On the surface, it seems, yeah, okay, story, this is... Things are happening, blah, 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 blah. Decide how you're going to respond. I get that part. But because I don't have enough of a grasp on, like, who, if anybody, I should really care about at this stage. Also, the music's just stopped. This is like either run out of music or it's because it's a dramatic moment. I don't know. I don't really have any emotional or like kind of rational response or reason for choosing any of these things. I don't really know what I feel like my gut is telling me to do, because it isn't telling me anything. It's just saying I don't know what's going on here. Punish Scott / flirt. Like, what? I mean, I'm going to press it to find out, because that one, it sort of makes... That one makes me most curious out of the four. Oh, Scott, will I have to punish you? Scott visibly blushes. The season has barely even begun. Can we keep it in our pants, please? They become more attracted to each other. Okay. So if we press escape now, does it show me the... It said it would show me the... Oh, is it status? Is it this? It's this, right, okay. So, I mean, at least it gives you a good idea of how long the game... So Scott's asshole rating went up by 1. but our relationship has also gone up by 1. Okay, I guess we'll save it. And then go back. We have things to discuss. We have something to tell you. That thing with Starter. You see, this is Starter is talking. This here tells you who's talking. So Starter isn't even in the room. And isn't talking about herself in the third person about her own relationship with Scott. So this should say Scott. Just pointing that out. This is a gripe of mine. Like, this is nothing to... I think this is an American thing. Like, they will say, I could care less, which is literally the opposite of what they mean. The phrase is, I couldn't care less, as in, I could not care any less than I already care. I care as minimally as I possibly can. And could not care any more, less, any smaller... I don't know how else to explain it. It's like literally the opposite of what that says. I could care less means I care this much more than how the minimum base of 0. It winds me up something chronic. If you know me, you'll know that the word gotten used incorrectly. I accept it's a valid word. It gets used incorrectly all over the place, all the time. It gets shoved into things where it doesn't need to be. That winds me up. This also winds me up a lot because it's just literally logically wrong. But there we go. Let's try not to get too aggravated. It's just a game. Maximum, this is going to take up like an hour of my life. And then I can stop being annoyed. Unless it manages to do an amazing U-turn and really hook me in. You can give me all the sexy details. Please, no. What? We're not being chums? Okay. So what's up? Molly got into an accident. Oh no. The fuck? Is she alright? She's a bit shaken up, nothing more. She called from a payphone near Emerald Bay. Her cell phone got smashed. That's a really dangerous curve. We need to send someone to get her and bring her in. Okay. I mean, we haven't even met Max yet, have we? So, or is this Max? Is this Max? This is Max, isn't it? This is Azzy. Sean was the other guy. I'll go myself. Well, I'm going. Are you in any headspace to make that drive? Fucking going, Max. Scott and Molly became better friends. Because not knowing who the main character is, you don't know who you're trying to build relationships with. You know, in Arcade Spirits, you are the player character who you get to name whatever you want. And you're working on relationships. It's like a hub and spokes. There are you, and then there are other people to have relationships with. I don't know whether we're going to get to make a choice as Max at some point, which is like, so... You know. 6 months ago, maybe some backstory and context. Here we are, home sweet home, right? Yeah, wow, things don't really change much, do they? Stage stays the same. People change, though. But not their clothes! Is everyone else here? Somewhere. Have you talked to anyone since you left for New York? Starter a few times. I cannot tell you how much I hate the fact that they've used the word starter as a name as well. That's just... I know there are some odd names. In my full name is a really odd name. But it's not a word that means something else. It's still a name, you know. You might as well call her, like, you know, Table or something. It's just like... I meant Molly specifically. I know. That's not an answer. That's a no then. You haven't talked to her since we broke up and I left? Yes. We haven't had the chance to catch up. This will be an extra fun day then. It'll be fine. We're still friends. And we're adults. Professionals. You'll see. Fuck is he doing here? Oh, come on, Max. Your superpower is calming her down. Go get him, Tiger. I can hear you, Max. So here's Molly, who's dressed in, I think this colour is called greige, is it not? Kind of grey, kind of beige, greige. You two are our ticket to beating Lake Tahoe Shakespeare this year and every year. sales climb as everyone hears more and more about the talented Molly Mallory and Scott Lewis. They want to see the famous actors who we lured from Ashland. Just here for the money, eh? Molly, it's good to see you, although our identical but reversed mouths would say otherwise. Will be nice, because I always try to be nice. Sure, I can play nice. Hello, Scott. You look New York. See, now we're playing as Molly. Scott and Molly became better friends. I have just the thing to cheer you up. You've both heard that Starter's family is selling their land, and thus their shares in our company, plus the surrounding businesses. We know who is buying, and they are super interested in the theatre. Everyone here keeps their jobs, and they are extremely excited to be working with you two. The Shaw Morgan Group. Max, what the fuck? Those are the direct rivals of... Starter is going to have a fit, because I assume that you have not told her. They're all professional. Shaw Morgans own the theatre now. It's not a big deal. They're the biggest and oldest family in Scotland. Like, what country are we even meant to be in? Lake Tahoe is in America, right? Yeah, because they were explaining at the beginning, it's the border between Nevada and California. What difference does it make that the Shaw Morgans are the biggest and oldest family in Scotland? A thing which I think, by the way, doesn't really exist as a concept, but okay. They practically own... Also, Morgan, Welsh word, not a Scottish word. As a name, I mean, Morgan is like a traditionally kind of Welsh name. But anyway, yes, we know. They buy land, they buy companies. This is Starter's inheritance. Sean is great at what he does. You guys are going to get along swimmingly. Kitri is young and talented. She's fresh, she's hot as fuck. She's exactly what this theatre needs. Someone's got a crush. The board also just signed off on the new artistic director. I know him personally. We went to film school together. Oh, I'm going to love this. Fresh, hot, young blood. Telling you, it's what this theatre needs. You said that already. If we're counting implications, you've said that 3, maybe 4 times already. Azzy McBrody. Are you out of your goddamn mind? His last film with Michael Bay's production company is the fastest film that isn't starring Captain America to ever make $1 billion. I expect both of you to vote for this to happen. It's for the best. Okay, so like for all that I am not enjoying this, some like the choices that pop up, as you saw, do make me laugh. I mean, I don't. Are we? Oh, it's her, right? So we're playing as her. So he should be turning around to talk to whoever he's talking to. But so we can quit, or we can fucking punch him. Gonna see what happens. Molly punches the fuck out of Max. Max improved his chances of becoming artistic director. Scott and Molly became better friends. Molly became more of an asshole, but Scott has already got +1 asshole anyway. That's a weird sentence. Gonna roll with it. So now they match. Now they are both 1 asshole each, which is normal, right? Present day. I'm very glad you're okay, Molly. I'm glad it was not worse than it was. Family's probably going to want me to go back to therapy. They didn't even want me to sign back up for this. How's your mom doing? She talked to Dad. He wants to talk to me. Well, that's obviously not fucking happening. No, it's not. Do you want to go inside, or... I don't think I can yet. This is so weird, being back, seeing you. So, what do you want to do? Fuck it, I want to see the black box. Freshly painted. Why did you come back? Why did I... Ooh, deflect or deflate? Okay, interesting set of choices. She's clearly very defensive generally. Is it deflate him or deflate my own sort of mental bubble? I don't know. Let's find out. Deflate. Look, I don't know what you think is going on between us or whatnot. I'm not in love with you. That is going to be the very first thing that's perfectly clear this season, before anything. So that's settled. Oh, feel a bit bad for him. Okay, 6 months ago again. At the after party. Jesus, what a night. Shakespeare should have included Robin Hood in King John. I'm sure you can tell her next time you see her. I want to go by the fire pit. You want to go by the fire pit? That arm feels like it's bent the wrong way, like it's bent backwards. This arm here. Heard from Molly. God, right, okay. I mean, I kind of don't like her. Not just because of her name, but... So we can kiss her, not kiss her, don't kiss but flirt, or fire her. Or maybe start a fire, I don't know. Let's see what fire is. It's peaceful out here. Yes, it is. We should start a fire. We really should. Not that kind of fire starter. Fire starter. Act 1, Scene 2. Okay, so I guess this is the present day again? But if we'd done one of the others with her, if we flirted or kissed her or whatever, I guess that would have had ramifications down the line for things with Molly and stuff. But equally, I'm saying these words and I just don't care. Like, I just do not care about these people at all. Once again, gonna compare it to Arcade Spirits. You get to know the other characters in that relatively slowly and protractedly over a number of chapters, episodes. But they feel so much deeper and like more convoluted. Like my favourite character in that, which as you may know, and you can actually see on this YouTube channel as my playthrough of me romancing him, was Teo, who on the surface appears very shallow. Some would say he is. Others watched all the way to the end of the series and realised that he's not. He's obsessed with perfectionism. Things have to be right. He has to, because otherwise he feels like he's going to let people down, and that he feels like there's a lot of expectations riding on him. And you learn that throughout kind of like the whole game of interacting with him and stuff. The other characters equally have all their own deep backstories and stuff. And you kind of, even if you're not romancing all of the characters, you kind of do still care about them, because it's obvious that there are things going on with them that, like, although you're not doing their story this time, it's still obvious and it sort of feeds into the overall vibe of it. This just feels like a bunch of entitled theatre nerds just getting high and shouting at each other. I just don't care at all. And like, with the added level of confusion, it possibly wouldn't be quite so bad if there wasn't this whole fourth wall breaking description of like, oh, I'm such a bad game dev, like interjecting all the time. If it was just a story in its own, like on its own, flat, and that was it, I could kind of like be like, okay, yeah, no, I don't like the characters, okay, maybe they'll redeem themselves, but also I could speed click through it, I suppose, to just, you know, see what happens in the story. But if it's going to have all this kind of, like, the developer or the narrator or whatever you want to call them, like, it's butting in all the time, it just feels like it's trying to make jokes and be too aware of itself for its own good. Yeah. Just, it's a no. It's a no. I'm really sorry. I always feel bad when I'm given something, because you can imagine like the developer, like, you know, I've written stuff in the past, you know, and whatever. I haven't like actually like actively sent it anywhere, but when you create something, you really want people to like it, obviously, or at least feel engaged enough with it to like read it to the end, play it to the end, listen to it to the end, whatever form of media it is. And knowing how I would feel if I had made something and people felt this way about it that I feel about this, makes me feel really bad for feeling it. I hate, you know, like being negative about things, and like, I don't slag things off in YouTube comments and stuff just for lols, or just, you know, just to say stuff or whatever. I'd always like try and provide a kind of a reasoning behind why I don't like stuff, which I think you've probably heard enough of why I'm not enjoying this. But yeah, to be given something for free with the knowing that they are at the other end, probably hoping that you'll really like it and maybe show it off to like your followers, your viewers, or whatever, in the hopes that they might then like it and they might buy a copy for themselves. I really can't do that. Like, yeah, I'm very glad that I didn't stream it, because the thought of 3 hours of trying to be upbeat about this, knowing that at any point the developer can wander into your Twitch chat and say hi and I made this game, and then you're like, oh god, now this is awkward. I need to be really polite. Yeah, I'm glad this was the right decision. This is the right decision. I don't regret making this video about it, because I did want to see what it was like. My gut feeling about it was correct in the end, which is actually really good to know that my sort of instincts were right. I've sort of run out of things to say. Really. Also, yeah, I swear quite a bit. I swear quite a lot. I feel like they've got perhaps too much swearing in this for what it is. It doesn't feel natural, all of it. Some of it feels like it's been shoehorned in, perhaps for shock value. I don't know. The music is really nice, I will say that. The music is really nice. The backgrounds are stunning. The characters aren't my kind of, like, art style choice of characters, but I'll be honest with you, even, like, the Arcade Spirits art isn't... I don't know what my preferred or best or perfect style of character art would be for a visual novel. I don't think it would be something like kind of cutesy chibi Japanese character, because that wouldn't look realistic, but like no hand-drawn 2D person looks particularly realistic. So I don't really know what I would want from a game in that respect, but these ones just not really doing anything for me. Is that enough? I feel like that's enough, right? There's not a lot else I can say. I'm really sorry, Stegalosaurus-ites. It's a no from me. I'm maybe this is why there are no reviews, that everybody who's tried this or been sent a copy to try it gets to this stage and just feels like... I don't really want to say anything bad, but I don't have anything good to say on Steam, so I'll just not say anything at all. Like Thumper taught us in Bambi, if you can't say something nice, then you shouldn't say anything at all, or however he phrases it. It feels a bit like that. Yeah. Can let the music play out. It won't play out because it's on a loop, I think. Oh, although... No, it has genuinely finished. The music's finished. I think we're probably meant to have moved out of the scene by this point, but there we go. It's started again. It's time for me to go. I'm gonna go get a drink. Possibly a stiff drink at this stage. Yeah, it's... I don't know, I would look up how much it is on Steam, but it'll mess my windows up. So, yeah, I don't know how much it is on Steam. If you've got more persistence than me, if you're desperate for achievements, I don't know if it has achievements, it might do. Maybe try it. Let me know in the comments what happens at the end. Or what is even happening at all, because I don't really know. Other than, as I say, kind of self-entitled, snobby kind of brats being brattish with each other. Yeah, thank you so much for watching though. It's been an insight. This is the whole point of exploring the backlog, is to, as I said at the beginning, find the gems that have been in there all the time that I should have played ages ago and wish I had of. Things like Bastion, things like the Flame in the Flood. I actually really enjoyed. I've still been thinking about the Flame in the Flood since I recorded it. I haven't played any more of it yet. Fossil Corner I've been playing more of. That was the very first video that I did. So there are definitely gems in there. It's just a case of finding them. And then there's also the chaff that needs to be sorted from the wheat. So yeah, I think like there'll be gems, there'll be wheat, which is kind of like stuff that's okay. Yeah, you know, yeah, I'd play a bit more of it, but it's not like going to set my world on fire. And then there's chaff, which is just the stuff that you sweep away and are done with. So yeah, I'll say again, thanks very much for watching to the end. I'm going to stop waffling now. Go and get yourself a stiff drink as well, and I will see you next time for more Exploring the Backlog. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Bye.